happening, everybody? Josh from In Effect, here with Richie Krutch from Wisdom in Chains, just ahead of their split with Sharp Shock that's coming out at a date that's to be determined, right?
September 11th.
September 11th. Beautiful.
Is the official release date, yeah.
Yeah. And are they doing pre-orders or anything?
Pre-orders are going on right now, and shipping starts, today's Friday, shipping starts, I think, Monday.
Okay.
So if you got a record with no merch, you'll get it sooner. If you got some merch with it, it'll take a little while. But.
Gotcha. So this split with Sharp Shock is a pretty rad surprise. How did this kind of come to be, and what can you tell us about the process of putting this all together?
All right. In January, we did a pretty dope tour. The only thing we actually did this year, it was Gorilla Biscuits. Gorilla Biscuits was the headliner. Then Agnostic Front, Street Dogs were on it. H2O was on it.
Nice.
Billy Biohazard was on it, and the surprise was with H2O was Dan Smith filling in on bass for Adam because Adam was sick, and Dan Smith is in Sharp Shock.
Right.
So, sharing the bus, talking bullshit, and we talked about it there, and then when we came home, we put it into effect. Let's really make it happen.
Nice. So on this split, you guys cover the Epoxy song "Need More Time."
Yeah.
They had sort of a more like Devo new wave flavor going on. So which one of you guys brought this song to the band, and what was the rest of the band's initial reaction?
Luke, our drummer, we said, what should we cover? Because, we love doing covers.
Right.
Luke brought us a sample of a few songs, and that was one of them. And we never even heard of the Epoxies. And when I looked into them, they have a lot of good songs, man.
Yeah.
And we don't know them at all. I don't know if they're still active. They did play something kind of in recent times. But, yeah, it was Luke that brought that song to us. None of us ever heard of him before.
That's awesome. I like that you guys were open to something so different than what you normally do. And I think it really works for your style as well. You guys kind of pulled the elements from that song that kind of play to your style and kind of accentuated on that. And I wasn't familiar with the song, so I had to go back and listen to that and then listen to your cover, and I was like, that works. I wasn't sure how it was going to work out, but it sounds great.
Did you listen to any of their other stuff or no?
I haven't yet, but I do. I do have a friend who told me that I should check out the Epoxies before. So when I saw that come across, I was like, oh, all right.
Well,
Sign. Yeah, exactly. Do you have any other songs that you personally would like to cover that might not be necessarily within your wheelhouse?
Yeah, I mean, we already have covered a ton of songs. Some, a lot of them came out, a lot of them never came out. But we always talked about doing a "Running Down a Dream." That song, "Running Down a Dream."
Oh, cool. Tom Petty, right?
Yeah. We always talked about "Tuesday's Gone," Leonard Skinner. We always talked about that, but they never happened. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Maybe though one day. If you got to have a lot of time for that stuff,
Right.
So if we get our stuff out of the way and then we could just have fun, that's when we usually invest into some covers.
Yeah. Did you guys use like the original synth, or did you have someone come in and record that? And if so, who did that recording for you?
That's a guitar. That's a guitar
Oh, wow.
lick.
Okay.
Yeah, we ran it. We heard how they did their synth. That's another song. They have a song called Synthesize.
Okay.
And that's a great song. Look into that if anybody's listening. Look into that song by the Epoxies too. That was another possibility. But anyway, the beginning of the song starts out with like a keyboard, and our guitar player Chris just mimicked it. We ran it through some computer software and turned it into more of kind of making it sound like a keyboard.
Right. Yeah, because listening to it, it really did sound like an old school like Casio keyboard. You know what I
mean?
So,
yeah. We wanted to do it like if we had to ever just play it live, we could just pull it off, and and he knew he figured it out.
That's awesome. Guitar. Yeah, very cool. Have these the two songs that you guys put on this split, have they been around for a while? I know in my I did an interview with Freddie Madball a couple years ago, and he mentioned in that interview that you guys always sort of have a grip of music that's ready to go. So were these songs locked and loaded, or are these kind of a recent thing for you?
The original song is pretty new. Like, we do have a lot of songs we haven't recorded yet, but that particular one, we sort of wrote it for the 7-inch.
Gotcha. Okay.
And yeah, we didn't have these ready. Actually, we were
Okay.
talking about putting like we have a lot of music ready, but not a lot of songs with lyrics.
Okay.
But if you just talk about songs, I mean, maybe up to 50 songs.
Oh wow.
That yeah, and a handful have lyrics, and a lot don't yet.
Gotcha.
But these two were just like, all right, let's do a split. Wrote that one. Evan wrote the majority of the music for the original. That's why
Okay.
it's like real bass heavy. If you listen to it, he's trying to show off a little bit. And then, yeah, Luke came up with that cover, and we said, let's have a good time with it.
Yeah, very cool. So when did you actually wrap up recording these? Was this something that you guys had to like coordinate during quarantine, or did this finish
Yeah,
up before everything kind of went to hell?
we said we got to do something like with this time, with this downtime, and obviously we can't play shows, so let's get a split 7-inch going. Let's write the songs, let's record them, and let's get them out before things get back to normal.
Right.
And one thing we didn't think of, it takes so long to press vinyl right now. Everything's backed up normally with vinyl, now even more. But we got that during quarantine real quick, and then as soon as we got that done, we said, all right, now let's start writing for another album. And we're trying to take advantage of the downtime, as best as we could.
Yeah, gotcha. So as we mentioned before, Sharp Shock are on the other side of this split. Uh, like other than that tour that you guys got together with Dan Smith on, uh, does Wisdom and Chains have any particular ties or sort of like history with Sharp Shock that you wanted to kick this thing off and get it rolling, and then maybe when you saw Dan, it kind of
Yeah,
got
not
got that
really.
moving?
Like we didn't have anything planned, but we do like to usually put out a split before a new album.
Yeah,
So we were talking about doing a split, but yeah, we didn't have any idea with who until we were on that tour. We talked about it a little bit, then we got hyper focused. Let's make that happen.
right.
So
So that kind of leads me to another question I had for you, which is there another full length in the works? I know when you guys did the split with Madball, the family business split, it was, right before the God Rhythm dropped. So can we, in this dark time, can we look
yeah.
forward to a little bit of light from you guys dropping
Oh
a
yeah,
new album?
I think a lot of bands might end up. I would imagine a lot of bands are writing right now, but yeah, we're probably in the middle of the writing.
Great.
Maybe more than the middle, maybe like 75-80% complete. We didn't start recording, but as far as once we get the songs down and we like what we like, recording that'll be fast. But yeah, we're in the mix. And 2021 sometime, I'd say.
Cool.
Just maybe sooner. Yeah, September, October. Yeah, early 2021
All
latest.
right.
New
Cool.
album.
Sweet. So your original, the second track for you guys on this split is called Richie's Revenge, which comes from kind of like a teaser line from the song Skinhead Gang back in 2015. So can you give us any sort of background between the songs and how they sort of tie together,
Um
if they do?
is it from Skinhead Gang? Yeah, okay, it was from Skinhead Gang. I always get what album? Yeah, Joe at the end of that song said in the next chapter you'll hear about Richie's
Richie's Revenge.
Revenge.
Yep.
Yeah, and then it just never happened. But we talked about it a lot. We definitely talked about it on for the next album while we were writing it, but we just never wrote it.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it came in like, all right, the music was done, and then the lyrics turned out to be that song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was we had to do it at some point. Once he mentions it, you gotta
Set it up.
do it, otherwise you look like an idiot.
Yeah. So this isn't the first time your extracurricular activities have been featured in one of the band's songs. Cap City specifically was about a time when someone tried to steal the Wisdom and Chains tour van while you were
Yeah.
asleep in the back. Uh,
Yeah.
Now, can you kind of like get into how true to life the depiction of that incident in the song was, and if it was, like, do you care to elaborate on anything that might not have made it into the song? How are you
Caps.
feeling?
Yeah, that went down like basically like he wrote it. Joe's pretty clever with the way he writes lyrics, and we were driving all night after, I think we played a show the day before, I forget where, but we were going to Columbus, Ohio, and we were gonna stay with our friend Joey Knuckles and sleep there, and then we play a show, and then the next day we had a show in Detroit, and regular tour scenario.
Right.
Drive the van out there, got there real late, and it was freezing, and I never was at Joey's house before, and I try to stay out of people's houses usually, if just in case they got I don't know, just in case. But so I said, yo, I'm good. I'll stay in the van, and I was in the van, but way in the back. Those guys went inside. They
Right.
passed out. Blah blah blah. I'm passed out in the back, and I felt like the van moving around a little bit, and I was like, what the hell's going on? And when I popped up, I saw these beady little eyes in the rear view, and it was like nobody I recognized.
Right.
So yeah, basically, he didn't know I was in there. I didn't wake up till he started moving, and I didn't know, like, was I in here for an hour, or did I just wake up? Like,
Right.
I was never here before at this place, so even looking out the window, I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah. Like, where did your mind go? Were you like, worst case scenario? Like,
Oh yeah, like once I didn't recognize the dude, like, we went to our boy Joey's house, but I know Joey. I just never been in his area, but I
Right.
would have recognized. So it was a stranger. Strangers driving our van. I'm in the back, and I wanted to kill this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I attacked him, I kind of like wrapped my arm around his neck, and I was behind the headrest. So it was bad situation for him because he was just.
There's nowhere to go.
I was just feeding him,
Right.
oh, it's time to eat, and he just gunned it and crashed, and then that he set me straight after that. Like I got fucked up when he crashed. The airbags came out, launched me to the back.
It's crazy.
And all that, there was like all this dust, like almost like a baby powder in the air from the airbags.
Right. Yeah.
I couldn't even breathe.
Dude.
So
Yeah.
that dude popped out, and I crawled to the front, and I'm like trying to yell at him out the window, and he's like holding his ribs. He's like running through the woods, and I got on my phone and I called Joe, and I said, I don't know where I'm at, but somebody just tried to steal a van and it's crashed. And it was literally maybe 100 yards from where we started, but I didn't know that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was like, were we in the same state? I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a true story. That's how it popped off.
Yeah, that's wild, man. Falling asleep, like waking up is disorienting enough, and then in a place you don't know, and then a car accident on top of it. That's got to be pretty wild.
Dude. It was like my Joe has a better story of it. Like he told it a few times on a podcast that we do, but he always says when he came out and he was running looking for this dude, and he felt like a little pain in between his legs. And he reached in, and he said his dick was like this big. It like shrunk and got real hard, like a little nub, because but everything else on him was flexed like a dog, like going into battle.
Yeah.
And he said like his dick just went inside his body.
I think I remember that episode.
Yeah. So that shit is funny because we're like animals, and then when we have like some kind of instinctual situation, we get nuts. But that's funny. This shit got real small.
Yeah. So, how has the band been dealing with families and jobs and stuff during quarantine, and the aftermath of all this like chaos and craziness?
Good. I mean, Joe is like real busy, working around the clock, making up for lost time.
Mm-hmm.
Luke, our drummer, never stopped working, not one day, because he was on like a couple jobs in New York City at the airports. So it's considered essential, like he was doing construction at the airports.
Right.
I don't think Evan ever stopped working. Chris he just worked from home. So it kind of sucks. People are bummed out. I say emotionally, Luke seems the most unstable, depressed, upset, this, that, no shows, no social life.
Right.
The rest of the band doesn't really know what's going on anyway. You know what I mean? Everybody else is just doing their thing.
Right.
But yeah, everybody's dealing with it. Like, what are you going to do? It sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So this one's already been answered about the new record and everything. But I do have kind of like a bonus question, just a personal thing that I wanted to ask you. I follow you on Instagram, of course, and you and I are Facebook friends, so I feel like I know you a little bit through that. Uh, how many times per week do you actually get pizza for dinner? Because all I see from you is like photos of the best looking pies from all over the
Mm,
place. It's like one day you're at John's on the Lower East Side, the next day you're at Frank Pepe's in New Haven. Like
yeah.
it's a constant
I
quest
mean,
for the perfect slice.
this
I can
week,
see.
every day of the week, I had pizza every day, but average pizza.
Mm,
If I get some higher level, then I post about it.
gotcha.
But I mean, I'd say weekly pizza 3 to 6 times, a week at some point.
Solid numbers.
Yeah, and then the special places, I try to at least hit two top-notch quality places like twice a month.
Yeah. When you do that, do you get like a slice of plain to like try just what their
Almost
plain is?
always.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
almost always. And I'm like, if it's a brand new place and they're known for a specific thing, like if you go to Louis and Ernie's in the Bronx,
Hmm.
you got to get the sausage pie.
Right.
So I'll do that. But if it's a place that is known for the plain, I don't get fancy. I don't stray off the path. I'm getting
Hmm.
like you don't go to a burger joint and get macaroni and cheese.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I get the basic and then take it from there. But there's good pizza all over the place.
You
Everybody
get
that fronts and says only New York, only no way, all over the place. You could find some spots.
all right. What's your like number one sleeper city for good pizza? Anywhere in the world, somewhere people wouldn't think. Who's got it?
Sleeper City. I don't think Philadelphia gets the props they're starting to in recent times, but Philadelphia has. I mean, there's that place Angelo's, unbelievable. Tacanelli's
There we
is
go.
a pie that you could only get at Tacanelli's. Like if you don't like it, then you just don't like it. But
Right.
you can't get it anywhere else. So if you like it, that's tough. It's only right there.
Yeah.
Philly has really good pie. It has a lot of crappy pie too, but so does New York City's filled with crappy pies. Like of course it's oversaturated with regular pizza, but
Right.
Philly's the sleeper city that people are starting to realize. But for a while, they got kicked while they were down. Oh no, New Jersey, New York, blah blah blah.
Right.
Philly
Right.
got real good pie. That's where you live at.
I'm just south of Philly. I moved down to I'm in the suburbs to the south now, but
Any good
yeah.
spots there?
I mean, where I'm at, there's a place called Cotty's here in northern
Mm.
Delaware. That's decent, but
Cotty's.
I still
I don't know. Worth
yeah.
worth a trip, or just it's all right.
If you're in the area,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
But
I like that name.
and Charlie's also in North Wilmington, Delaware is a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah, that's 2 miles from my house. It's
See
it's
that?
the spot.
Everywhere there's
Yeah,
something. There's something. This is America, baby. Pizza.
that's right. But I appreciate your time. Thanks for doing this, and we're looking forward to some new music from you guys
Thank
September
you, man.
11th, and you can get the pre-orders now. I assume Fastbreak Records would be the place to go.
Yes.
Hit them
Fastbreak
up.
Records.
Yeah, and Post America Podcast. Check it out. Anything else that you got going on? You wanna plug?
Post America Podcast. Yeah, check it out. Doing some more. Should be up soon. Fastbreak Records for us. All the other bands on there. Crucified Straight Edge Merchandise. Me and Joe Hardcore. My man Keith. If you're straight edge and you follow the good book, then there you go. Get some merch. The coffee line. Get it. Eat it up. And let's hopefully we see each other at a show soon.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Pulled up, showing knuckles at 5 a.m. Richie Krutch crashed out in the back of the van. But when he started sleeping, the city started creeping. Richie woke up to the sound of rubber screeching.